Today we are taking a look at Solana's Sol coin, performing some technical analysis and making some predictions on where we can expect to see Sol go in the near future. Let's get into it. Welcome back into the Solana chart, guys. If you'd like to buy Solana's Sol coin or want some free Bitcoin, there are a couple of links down in the description of today's video. And unfortunately, due to other events, our Solana breakout did not occur. And in fact, our support point at the time failed. That was sitting at $125. That failed as a result of Bitcoin dumping, which of course brings the rest of the market, including Sol, with it. And unfortunately, we have failed from that support level and moved down through the 20-day moving average, unfortunately, and then all the way down to where we're currently sitting at on basically the 50-day moving average. Now, the 50-day moving average is currently sitting at 99.32, and you can see we've bounced off that point twice. That is positive. Now, we are sitting currently at a value of $103, and I'm thinking hopefully we are able to continue moving up. It looks like the market's starting to recover a little bit. I'm going to extend just because we are in, of course, jeopardy of hitting this point, our $80 support point out. Now, looking at the volume, we did have one decent red day, but it wasn't a gigantic dump. It was pretty similar to what we saw on our green days. So from that perspective, we've not seen a huge sell-off or anything like that. It looks like over this period, we just have happened to have more sellers than buyers, but we're not seeing people dump their crypto portfolios out. So just a bit of instability as you'd expect when Bitcoin drops. Of course, it brings a bit of fear into the rest of the market. But fortunately for us, that 50-day moving average has acted beautifully as a point of support. Now, we are certainly still bullish. We've had that 20-day moving average cross above the 50-day moving average, a bullish indicator which we saw previously. And it's looking like now with this bounce, we could start seeing that uptrend come back into play. And I'm trying to decipher whether or not we can actually establish an uptrend now. Maybe from this bottom point here, we can establish a bit of an uptrend over, well, since right, I'd say maybe that, I'd say about here's right. That's where we're seeing, I suppose, our uptrend start from. Probably basically when we manage to break out of the long-term downtrend, a new uptrend has established itself. And as long as we maintain these levels, we are able to keep moving upwards. Now, as we start to move along this point, what is going to happen? Well, we're supported not only by this point, but as well the 50-day moving average appears to be in alignment with it. But we're going to keep moving up. And if, let's say, things keep moving sideways, then we'll get to a very, very tight point at the end of basically May, start of June. So start of June, what we're going to see is a breakout at the latest. What we're going to see in the interim is some price action as follows. Obviously, we've come back down. We're going to bounce off this line. We're going to probably test again the $125 mark. And depending on if Bitcoin absolutely soars or if it just starts to steadily increase, we might see a bit of a dip again before coming up, testing, and then going upwards. That is, I suppose, the relaxed scenario. It's not super bullish. It's also not super bearish. It's just about in the middle. That's sort of what you'd expect to happen with this sort of a pattern that is forming itself now. What I'm hoping will happen though is not necessarily that. What I'm hoping is Bitcoin starts to bounce and pump and we go straight up, break through $125 again, and keep on moving. Then the target would of course be that 200-day moving average at 148, and of course the $150 horizontal point of resistance, which is already in place. I'll extend that one out just so we can visualize this one nicely. There you go. That would be really the ultimate target here. This support point at this point in time, given we have managed to bounce, is not in jeopardy of being touched. So $80 is not on the cards at this point in time. We are still looking positive and we are still in our short-term uptrend looking bullish. So really, really good. Let's take a look at a few more indicators. RSI would have absolutely plummeted, and as you can see, we were overbought. So a pullback period did need to occur. It's healthy for these things to occur. I just didn't expect it to be as severe as it was. But we went down to a low on the RSI of 42.89. We're currently sitting a value of 46.21. We're on the lower end of things. We have plenty of room to now bounce and move upwards in that direction. Let's have a look as well at the MACD. Bring that one up. You can see the MACD looks like, based on today, it might be flattening out. As you can see here, two candles of similar size. Whilst yes, today's is bigger than yesterday's ever so slightly, you can tell by the fact that they're still the same color. It's looking like it's about to hollow off and come in that sort of a direction there. And then we'll get a nice beautiful cross, hopefully, of the 12-day EMA above the 26-day EMA. That, in my opinion, will be the catalyst for a major breakout of Solana's Sol coin. What you're going to see is, until we get that nice cross, we'll start probably moving up in this sort of a manner, maybe a bit like that. But as soon as the cross comes, we're going to go like that, because that is a major buy signal from a technical perspective. All in all, what is my price target for Solana at the moment? Well, ideally, I'd like to say we should get to $125. But first and foremost, I really think we need to get back above the $115 mark, which is our 20-day moving average. So first and foremost, hit the 20-day moving average, followed by the $125 point of resistance, whilst obviously maintaining our uptrending line. That is really the critical factor here. Whatever happens in this space doesn't matter too much. It's just making sure we are maintaining this line at the bottom here, and we're not breaking below it and then moving towards the $80 mark. If we do break it, obviously we're in jeopardy of, unfortunately, hitting that point. That wraps up today's analysis on Solana's Sol coin, guys. I'd love to hear your thoughts down in the comments section below. Of course, if you did enjoy today's video as well, make sure you do leave a thumbs up. And if you want to see more of this sort of content, hit subscribe and turn on those bell notifications. I'll leave it there for today, guys. I hope you have an awesome day. I'll see you next time. Cheers.